Now it is my great pleasure to introduce you to Mr. Clarence A. Johnson, the Director for Diversity Management and Operations Center at the Department of Defense. Mr. Johnson is particularly special to us because 18 years ago, when we wanted to launch this program, the National Latina Symposium, we went to his office and he was the principal advocate in the Pentagon that helped us navigate all the corridors and make it possible for us to have the Department of Defense endorse this wonderful occasion. So now it's been 18 years later, and for 18 years, he's been a staunch supporter of our cause. And frankly, without him, probably this celebration could not take place. So without further ado, it is my great pleasure to introduce you to one of our founders, Mr. Clarence A. Johnson.
Well, good afternoon. My name is C.J. Johnson, and I have the pleasure of serving as the director of the Diversity Management Operations Center, the DMOC, a component of the Defense Human Resources activity within the Office of the Undersecretary of Defense for Personnel and Readiness. On behalf of the Secretary of Defense, I bring you greetings. I take this moment to thank every leader who has joined today's Latina-style Military Awards Luncheon, many who are distinguished mentors, future advisors, and guests from around the country. Now, just as you have taken time from your busy schedules to join this virtual congregation of important military leaders, I too am so delighted to be a part of this prestigious celebration. You see, we in DoD appreciate the long-standing partnership and remain connected to organizations like Latina Style as they partner with us to help ensure we access diverse talent with the right skill sets the department needs to advance our national security mission. I am proud to note that my office has, in some form or fashion, been engaged with Latina Style for well over a decade. I salute Mr. Robert Bard, who leads Latina Style and his top-notch staff for the work Latina Style has done and continues to do to promote leadership and development of Latinas, which of course is a key constituency, not only in DoD, but across our great nation in myriad endeavors. My office plays a pivotal role in advancing diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility in DoD, and I am glad to note that all the military departments and other defense components are committed to this mission as well. You see, we all believe that the DoD Total Force mission depends heavily on people resources from underserved communities with diverse backgrounds and experiences. And when I say Total Force, I'm referring to our military active duty and reserve component forces and to our DoD civilian workforce as well. It was my honor and my privilege to serve our military as an active duty officer for 29 years. And in doing so, I well understand the challenges some face in serving successfully in our military, which gives me joy and excitement to have the opportunity to recognize and honor the distinguished accomplishments of Latinas in uniform. So I say to today's honorees, you not only represent the fastest growing population in the United States military, but each of you also represents past legacies and future hope for generations to follow. As Latinos continue making huge strides in DoD, I would like to acknowledge other Latinos who are also making or have already made great impact to DoD's mission in remarkable ways. In case you are not aware, very recently, Mr. Gil Cisneros, who served in the US Congress from 2019 until earlier this year, was confirmed and currently serves as the Undersecretary of Defense for Personnel and Readiness. Former Acting General Counsel Michelle Pierce became the first Hispanic American woman to serve as the top lawyer for the Army. U.S. Army Reserve Lieutenant Colonel Marisol Chalice currently serves as the legislative assistant to the Vice Chief of Staff of the Army. And Carmen Contreras Bozak, who was inspired by the War Department and her own sense of patriotism, decided to enlist in the Women's Army Auxiliary Corps. She decided against the traditional domestic lifestyle and became the first Hispanic American to serve in what would later be known as the Women's Army Corps. We stand proud to recognize all these great contributions. As we continue to advance DOD's agenda, we are sensitive to the notion that more can and needs to be done. According to the 2020 report from the DOD Board on Diversity and Inclusion, 18% of Hispanics are enlisted in our military, and just 8% are officers. And when we look at DOD's female strength by military service, 19% of the Army's females are Hispanic, with 16% in the Air Force, 24% in the Marine Corps, and 16% in the Navy. Now, as we look at this data, and remember that Latinos have been serving in our nation's defense since the early days of our republic, some might say, in the words of an old cigarette commercial, we've come a long way, baby. But I think we'll all say in this regards words rather from a favorite poet, miles to go before we sleep. So with that in mind, DOD is committed to the belief that diversity is a readiness imperative that provides us with a strategic advantage. We recognize that diversity goes well beyond race and gender. We must start from key pipeline resources, such as Hispanic Serving Institutions, HSIs, to find diverse backgrounds, perspectives, and the expertise to successfully respond to the many complex challenges of the 21st century national security landscape. The DMOC, which I oversee, works tirelessly to remove barriers that prevent service members from rising to their highest potential. We strive to see that every person in DOD reaches his or her potential, regardless of race, ethnicity, sexual orientation, or gender. And for Latinos and others in DOD, removing these barriers creates an opportunity to continue to meet and exceed new challenges, paving the way for future leadership success. And that is why it is imperative to connect Hispanic communities and influencers with service career opportunities. One of the programs my office conducts is the Taking the Pentagon to the People program. This program unites DOD and HSIs and other minority serving institutions to bring awareness of DOD hiring prospects, fellowships, education, training opportunities, and importantly, information on infrastructure enhancement. By engaging minority serving institutions in this Pentagon to the People concept, our objective is to enhance the pipeline of Hispanics serving in DOD or elsewhere in the federal government. Again, we in DOD fully recognize the talent and the contributions resident in the Hispanic community, and we will continue to do all we can to leverage that talent to advance success in the national security mission. Certainly a high quality military and civilian workforce will keep the DOD strong, but I will submit that a high quality, diverse military and civilian workforce will make the DOD stronger. So in closing, let me say to the award recipients, congratulations on your outstanding achievements. You are carrying forward the torch of those who came before you, while blazing the trail for future Latina leaders. You should be very proud of your accomplishments and dedicated efforts. Through a combination of distinct talents, unique perspectives, and resilient spirits, you share a robust and impressive history of military and civilian leadership. Each of you, as influencers in your communities, I call on you to help increase the awareness of what the DOD has to offer by sharing with young people the value of public service, particularly service to our country, either in the military ranks or as civil servants. We in the DOD recognize the vast contributions of Latinos to the nation, along with the value of their rich legacy, woven deeply throughout the fabric of these United States. Continue to lead in your communities, and especially in the DOD. Thank you so very much.
Thank you so much, Clarence. And thank you for your friendship, and thank you for your support through all these years. And I do not exaggerate if I say that you have been one of the pillars of the National Latina Symposium. So thank you. We wish you great success because we still need you at the Department of Defense. Don't even be thinking of retiring. And we look forward to next year to the 19th National Latina Symposium. Thank you, Clarence. It is now my great pleasure to be able to introduce you to our Secretary of the U.S. Navy, the Honorable Carlos del Toro, to provide the remarks for our award ceremony. Secretary del Toro was born in Havana, in Cuba, and emigrated to the United States in 1962. He graduated from the U.S. Naval Academy in 1983 as a surface warfare officer, and later he attended Naval Postgraduate School, Naval War College, and George Washington University. Over a career expanding 22 years in the U.S. Navy, the Secretary held a series of critical appointments and served in numerous tours of duty at sea. He was the first commanding officer of the Arleigh Burke-class guided missile destroyer USS Berkeley. Upon his nomination, Secretary of Defense Lloyd J. Austin III said of Mr. Del Toro, "Carlos exemplifies the core values of honor, courage, and commitment in defense of our country. He is one of those individuals who has exemplified leadership wherever he's been. We are delighted to have the opportunity to host them here at the National Latina Symposium. We're delighted with the opportunity to present them with the Trailblazer Award, and we are delighted to have the opportunity to work with him moving forward into what is going to be a very, very demanding position at the U.S. Navy. So without further ado, please welcome the Honorable Carlos del Toro.
Buenas tardes, mis amigas y amigos. Robert, thank you for the opportunity to engage with your Latina-style family. It's an honor to receive this Trailblazer Award, and I'm deeply grateful to each and every one of you for this recognition. But the fact is, the real Trailblazers are all of you. The names on today's program fill me with awe. You're hearing from some of the best leaders this nation has to offer. Outstanding Latinas like my friend Major General Angie Salinas. I hope you listened and will benefit from their experience. Always commit yourselves to making a positive difference in the lives of our Latino community. Today's honorees from every branch of the service inspire me with the hope for the future of our armed forces and our nation. Congratulations to each and every one of you, and I thank you and your families for your service. As Secretary, I'm determined to do everything I can to ensure your success and achievement throughout your entire career. And I know that goes for every military civilian and business leader attending this conference. This gathering isn't just about honoring past achievements. It's also about widening the path for Latina leadership. It's about making sure that the next generation of Latina leaders in uniform and civilian life have the means, the mentorship, and the motivation to fully realize their potential. Because I've seen the power of Latina leadership firsthand. I saw it when I commanded USS Berkeley, one of the first warships with women in service. I saw it in the business world, where the keen insight and drive of Latina businesswomen sparked innovation and change. And that includes my own beloved wife, Betty, who was my chief financial officer for 17 years in the private sector. Before that, she was a Navy spouse for 22 years. And I'm seeing it now amongst the tens of thousands of Latina sailors and Marines I now have the honor of serving as Secretary of the Navy. But before all that, as a child, I saw the strength and character of the first two Latina leaders in my life, mi madre y mi abuela. In the Hell's Kitchen neighborhood of New York City, they instilled pride in who I was and where I came from. My mother worked at a purse factory and later as a hotel maid to make ends meet. My father worked 2 jobs, most of his life as a janitor and as a taxi driver. Mi abuela watched me during the day in our Hell's Kitchen apartment building while my parents worked, like many of you. From those strong women, I learned the values of hard work, dignity, respect, and the power of education. These lessons carried me to the appointment at the United States Naval Academy and sustained me throughout all that followed in my naval career. Many of you have a very similar story to my own. I see it today in the eyes of proud immigrants serving throughout our entire naval force. Throughout 26 years in uniform and another 17 years as a business and community leader, I saw the extraordinary talent of young Latinas and the many challenges that they still face today. I witnessed how education and mentoring can change the course of a young person's life. And I saw how our nation benefits when all of our people have a fair chance to excel. As Secretary of the Navy, I'm determined to expand the ladder of opportunity for each of these great Americans and for all who serve. Today, we must build a culture where every sailor and every Marine of every race, sexual orientation, gender identity, religion, and ethnicity is treated with dignity and respect and the opportunity to lead. I appreciate all of your help in achieving this goal and in all of the many ways you are looking out for Latinas, both individually and as an organization. I look forward to working with each and every one of you as Secretary of the Navy, whether you choose to serve in uniform, help our mission in civilian life, or partner with us to help build a brighter future for all. And to the Latinas in service attending this conference today, thank you for all that you do for this nation that we all love. It is an honor to serve by your side. Muchísimas gracias.
Thank you, Secretary Del Toro, for joining us on this very special occasion. We look forward to follow your career as the Secretary of the U.S. Navy. It is my pleasure now to be able to present the President's Award to the Association of Naval Services Officers. For nearly 2 decades, Latina Style has been able to partner and work with ANSO in the advancement, retention, and education of Latinas and Latinos in the sea services. Captain Roy Love will accept the award on behalf of ANSO. And it goes to note that 3 members of ANSO will be recognized today, as it was Commander Blanca Rosas last year in the presentation of the Distinguished Military Service Awards. Thank you, ANSO, for all you do, and thank you, ANSO, for your continued commitment on advancing our community.
Buenos dias. I'm Captain Roy Love, President of the Association of Naval Services Officers, ANSO. I'm pleased to be here with you for the 2021 National Latina Symposium Distinguished Military Service Awards. Latina Style has been honoring Latinas serving in the armed forces for nearly 2 decades, being true to their mission of empowering, developing, and highlighting Latina professional, working women, entrepreneurs, and military throughout the country. Today, ANSO is proud to see 3 of our extraordinary members recognized at this distinguished event. For 40 years, ANSO has been the only all-inclusive Hispanic Latino leaders resource group for all ranks of the U.S. Maritime Services, the Navy, the Coast Guard, and the Marine Corps. Founded in 1981 by the first Secretary of the Navy of Hispanic descent, the Honorable Eduardo Hidalgo, the Association of Naval Services Officers has long been a mentoring and career development focused organization. We serve all our members equally and continue to work for the continued success and inclusion of Latinas in all aspects of the sea services. In addition to supporting outreach within America's underserved communities, ANSO directly supports Hispanic members in their decision to remain in their respective services and helps those who retire or separate secure outside employment through its extensive network. Latina Style has been an incredible ally and advocate for all Latina women who serve our great nation. We are grateful for your continued support of ANSO and our members. We are also exceedingly grateful for the recognition bestowed upon ANSO through the Latina Style President's Award. Thank you, Mr. Robert Bard, President and CEO of Latina Style, for your support. Thank you to all the Latina Style staff for everything you do for our wonderful community. And thank you to each ANSO role model who is recognized today. You are the rock upon which we stand. Our nation continues to be great because of your strength, your dedication, and your commitment to serve faithfully and selflessly. Thank you. Gracias. Adelante con ANSO.
Thank you, Captain Love, and thank you, Ansel, for your 40 years of service. And for the next 40, I hope. We look forward to seeing you again as a partner for the National Latina Symposium in 2022.
Thank you, Latina Style, for allowing me to moderate the 18th Annual National Distinguished Military Service Awards. We will begin the award ceremony with a presentation of colors and national anthem provided by the Armed Forces Color Guard.
Hot, 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 hot.
Colors! Hold! Colors, ready, set, on! Colors, right shoulder, on! Colors, colors turn, on!
Hot, 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 hot.
Thank you to the Armed Forces Color Guard for providing the presentation of colors and national anthem. At this time, we salute our fallen heroes and we dedicate a special tribute to honor our Hispanic American comrades who are missing in action, prisoners of war, and those who gave their lives serving our great nation. Ladies and gentlemen, the moment we've all been waiting for, the 2021 National Latina Symposium Distinguished Military Service Awards. These awardees demonstrate core values of their respective military service or agency. Additionally, the award recipients have distinguished themselves as role models in their communities and advocate for the advancement of Hispanic Americans.